What if I say that this video is the most important thing in your life, and depending on how well you can grasp it, you'll be either the happiest or the most miserable creature in the universe? And it's not that to grasp the meaning of the video you only need to focus your attention on it and remove all distracting thoughts out of your mental space. You may watch it 100 times as you listen to your favorite song, and yet you may be as far from its essential idea as the real sun is far from metaphysical speculations of Plato. What if I say that your happiness and suffering are triggered by the information that you allow to get in? Would you believe that you may be always happy simply by blocking all negative bits of linguistic code, or creating a filter that transforms all bads into goods? What if I give you 5 tips and 8 tricks that, following step by step, are gonna lead you to a real paradise, not in the afterlife, but here on Earth? Are you gonna pay attention? Are you gonna watch the video to the end? Well, if your answer is yes, you are a hopeless fool, manipulated by banal fancies, though, of course, your foolishness is completely justifiable by your psychological and physical environment that you had been placed in even before the time you were born. But what if I say now, again, that this video is the most important thing in your life, and depending on how well you can grasp what I'm gonna say next, you'll be either the dumbest or the smartest person in the world? And again, it's not enough for you just to listen to what I'm saying. You know, wise, ancient, well-drilled illiterates taught that words make little sense and profound knowledge comes from silence. Are you willing to spend your precious time on listening to my silence? What if I say that I learned your barbarous language, your elegant English, and recorded over 800 speeches just to show how to keep silent? Would you believe in my silent wisdom gained through hundreds of hours of meditations? Would you believe that this wisdom might be passed directly into your consciousness via the words or pictures that you get from your screen? Are you expecting me to call you a hopeless fool again? Hey, you aren't obsessed with this unconcealed contempt and derision, are you? Thanks for your patience, but things are gonna escalate, so be ready to suppress your anger and tame your wild emotions. I'm not here to please you or confirm your superstitions about the world and your place in it. I'm here to convince you that you are an idiot. And this is the most important thing on earth that you've never taken seriously. We all are fools, and you are not an exception. Nobody knows what's really going on in the world. Everyone has only their biased opinions about the reality, about themselves, about everybody else, about this or that event, about the past, about the future, about the now, whether these opinions are strictly formulated or not. If your opinion is different from mine, it doesn't mean that we talk about different parts of an elephant. It means that either one of us or we both are idiots, and the latter is most likely the case. And if we hold to the same opinions based on facts, it doesn't mean that we suddenly become scientists and may jiggle with an amiable debility waving our PhDs. It means that we turned into bigger fools who believe that a class of fools has a distinguishable quality from its individual members. Ask yourself how much time you spend every day on thinking. You know, not on what you call thinking, but on real thinking. In other words, how much time you spend on making sense out of the information you perceive from all sorts of, not necessarily YouTube, channels. How much shit have you put down on paper compared to the mental food that you've already consumed? How long and wide is your recorded stream of consciousness? Which sources does it come from? Which metaphysical seas does it feed? I'm not a moralist, and I have no intention to teach you how to be smart. I'm not trying to offend you to enhance my imaginable intellectual superiority. I'm just like you, don't wanna be a fool, but the more I learn. You see, I fell into this trap many years ago. I said to myself that I wanna be wise, not just pretend that I have some knowledge because I read this or that book or wrote thousands of pages of meditations. No matter how I might have looked from somebody else's perspective, I wanted to be as honest as I could and aimed at developing my understanding of what I was doing, why I was doing this, and what was going on around. And you may see all these 1,000 videos or read my daily notes that I'm publishing on the internet, which which cover more than a decade of a deeply focused studying of Russian literature. Saltykov, Shchedrin, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Turgenev, Pushkin, Lermontov, Belansky, Herzen, Kanischewski, Dobrotabov, Byzarev, Plekhanov, Lenin, and more. German classic philosophy, Kant, Hegel, Feuerbach, Fichte, Schopenhauer, Nietzsche. Greek and Roman thinkers and poets, Aeschylus, Sophocles, Euripides, Aristotle, Plato, Epicurus, Sextus Empiricus, Plutarch, Seneca, Cicero, Horace, and others. Famous national figures like Shakespeare, Voltaire, Goethe, Cervantes. Dozens of educational courses from Stanford, Yale, Harvard, MIT, MSU, and other universities, and you know what? After this bloody decade, at the end of which I also learned a new language, your great English, and reprogrammed my mind to use it all the time, even though I had nobody to speak to. I mean about my stuff, not some meaningless conversations that occur time by time. You know what I think about this idea of not being an idiot. I'm still an idiot when it comes down to 99% of all interactions with other people. All my thoughts and experiences don't make any difference. And that's fine. Being fools is our destiny. We all are doomed to stupidity and misunderstanding. And those of us who dare to prove that wrong usually end up in a madhouse achieving exactly the opposite of what initially was aimed at. So being a fool is cool. I give you permission to be a fool for the rest of your life. If somebody tells you that you are an idiot, say thanks, and don't forget to return the compliment. You may return it to me as well in the comments section down below. I'll be glad to see it. The like button and subscription are also welcome, though they probably won't change anything neither for me nor for you. For now, that's all. Farewell.